Right. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm
Welcome.
yeah, I'm Kenna McIntyre. I'm the assistant camp director here at Camp Durant, and I am with.
I'm Henry Gibson. I'm the camp director for Camp Durant.
So we want to thank everybody for joining us today as we are excited to roll out this new program called Next Level Stuff, or NLS, as we are calling it.
Yeah.
And so we're excited to let you know about what this program is. We are still finishing up some final details on it, but we wanted to give you just a heads up of what we're doing and why we're doing it. And if you've got questions, please drop them in the chat. We'll be monitoring, hopefully, as we go. I have a little bit of a hard time as we're screen sharing and doing everything else to be able to monitor, but we will get to everybody's questions. So let's get started. So we just did our welcome.
Welcome to Camp Durant, and glad you're here. So, just make sure everybody's got your stuff on mute, and we will have plenty of discussion as we need to. So let's go ahead and get into that. All right. So over the last multiple years, troops have asked us to come up with older scout program, and part of our situation is that we don't have the geography that a lot of places have to get out and do stuff, but what we do have is an exceptional program in our camp. So we have come up with a program that keeps the intention is for it to keep your older scouts involved in summer camp with your troop while giving them an opportunity to become leaders, to stay focused in scouting, and get a couple things done. The premise behind our thought process is that by the time kids are 14 years old, they've been to camp 3-4 times, maybe. They get that, been there, done that, and looking for something else to do. So one of the things that we know about camp is that mom and dad want a lot of advancement when they come out of this, but the kids, they want to have fun. The primary purpose of summer camp, believe it or not, is not advancement. It is actually having fun at summer camp. Okay. So, so this program is going to be for youth that are 14 years old or older. Okay. And that just gives them an opportunity to do something special. Okay. Okay. So
we've already covered a little bit of the why we've decided to do this program. Yeah. But one of the big reasons is we understand for our troops, especially, it's important that you have your older scouts in camp because you need them to provide leadership to your younger scouts, especially those first-year scouts. And I would even emphasize a little bit more, especially here at Camp Durant. We have a very strong first-year camper program. And we understand that, a lot of our units sometimes will go to another camp for those high adventure opportunities because maybe we haven't had something for our older scouts to do, and you bring your younger scouts to Durant. And we know that sometimes you don't have that quality leadership because those kids have made a choice to go do something else. So we wanted to be able to give you an opportunity to have those scouts attend camp at Durant, be able to provide leadership to your troops, and still have a good time. And honestly, you asked for it. You asked for an older scout program. It's feedback that we've gotten for a long time. And it's just taken us some time to figure out what exactly it is that we can offer here at camp that isn't pulling people out of camp. And so that's our excitement right now, is that we wanted to develop this program. So we want to get into it, tell you a little bit about what we're looking at in terms of what is this program, because I know that's why everybody's here.
Yep. And it is not complex. It is not complicated. It is
The next level.
the next level, okay, of what we can do in our camp. All right, is we're not billing this as high adventure. We're just billing this as the next level of camp stuff. All right. So this program is going to consist of the 6 things that you see on the screen. All right. We're going to have specific times in each one of these program areas just for this group of kids. We don't know how big it's going to be. I'm figuring, 8, 10, something like that, maybe a nice patrol size. But the idea is for them to, instead of going to the rifle range and just shooting rifles, maybe they get pistols. Okay. And they're not shooting for scores unless they want to or need to, but it will be things. It will not be rifle shooting or shotgun shooting merit badge. Okay. We would like for them to, they're going to basically come in as a patrol. They're going to go to do all these things. They'll see each other throughout the day. When we get to like the shotgun range, if you've got a kid taking shotgun merit badge, that clay goes straight the same way every single time. Timing. This is not going to be. They're going to do some crossing stuff, and it's just going to be more challenging, and it's just going to be fun for them. Okay. Metalwork. Our camp force become popular, and we are excited to give them an opportunity to get over there and bang on a piece of 2,000 degree metal and turn it into something kind of cool, and then of course we got an aquatics component that will likely happen in the afternoon because it's a little bit warmer, and they'll have a chance to go out and get on the stand-up paddle boards, the kayaks, things that just have their own little time in that area. To just go relax and go get wet, right? Life skill. This was one that we came up with, that having I have 2 girls, one's 23, one's 22, or 21, and a lot of kids their age and in high school, they don't know how to balance a checkbook. They don't know the importance of managing your social media stuff. So this is one of those areas that we're going to come up with a couple things that are going to be, it's not going to be a boring, mundane dad lecture to them, but it's going to be hey, you just need to hear this because you need to hear what, and they might have some questions about job resumes or interviewing. And every scout leader that's going to be coming into this camp is going to have a skill set that we might be able to capitalize and draw from on that. Okay. And finally, not all these kids, some of them are going to want to participate in merit badges. Okay. Now, if they sign up for this program, understand that they're not going to be getting the shooting merit badge or the shotgun or the metal work or any. That's not the point of it. Okay. Point of it is for them to have an opportunity to go and do these things.
However, though,
go ahead.
If they have not completed that merit badge, so let's say they've taken rifle or they've taken shotgun merit badge and they have not been able to qualify, this will be an opportunity for them to qualify. Mm-hmm. They will still be going over some of those requirements, but the purpose is not necessarily to earn that merit badge. And it also, it's not I don't believe they're going to have that merit badge in order to partake in the program. No. We want them to be able to go and have a good time. maybe they're being exposed to rifle for the first time or shooting a gun for the first time. And this will be an opportunity for them to get exposed and then be able to come back. And let's be honest, if they can hit that target on shotgun that's flying across, they can hit it straight away. Yeah. So this just gives them that opportunity for some experiences. We want to be able to give them, honestly, a fun time, because so many of these kids have been there, as Henry said, for two or 3 years doing some of the stuff. The one requirement we will have is that they must be a swimmer in order to partake in our aquatics activities. That is an absolutely required thing. But back to our priority on our Eagle required merit badges.
Right. We know that some of these kids, the real reason they might be coming to camp with the troop is because they haven't gotten around to starting emergency preparedness yet, or communications, or something like that. If they sign up in this program, they're going to be guaranteed positive space in the merit badge, the Eagle required merit badge of their choice is, if they want one or two. Now, this comes back to life skills a little bit. If they want to get emergency preparedness, and the emergency preparedness class is during the metalworking time, well, they got a choice to make. Okay. We'll work with them as best we can. But we want to give them the opportunity to come and get that last 1 or 2 required merit badges, or get started on that stuff, and get them on up into the system a little bit. Okay, so that is that's one of the little caveats, little carrots that we hope will be attractive. That some of these kids that I don't want to go to camp again. It's boring. I
don't want to sit through merit badge sessions.
Right.
I already have all the merit badges that have been offered. That's something that we hear a lot. So this gives them that opportunity to go and do something fun and not be stuck in a merit badge session, so to speak. But again, they're there doing something different. They're providing some leadership skills. We are going to work through some opportunities for them, as Henry said, to earn some, not necessarily requirements per se, but we are developing exactly what it's going to look like, of what it is they're capable of earning. If nothing else, they're going to earn some life skills.
Yeah.
So that is a topic that's been a hot topic discussion, and we are still in the finalizing of what those life skills are going to be. So if there's something that you've heard in your troop that you hear your kids talking about, my boys, Henry said his girls are 23, 21. I've got a 21-year-old and a 19-year-old. My boys are freaking out about taxes and how to do taxes. Mom, I don't know how to do this. What is FICA, and who is FICA, and why are they taking all my money? That's a lot of questions that we get. Even our summer camp staff, they're having to fill out all of these employment forms. And so that's some stuff that we want to talk to these kids about. And it's things like that a lot of our scouts just don't get exposed to. And we're hearing it from our staff members. We're hearing it from our own children. So if there's a topic that you feel passionate about, because you've heard a lot of kids talk about the fact that I don't know this, drop that in the chat for us as we're finalizing it. Interview skills. Thank you, Laura. That's a big one. I want my kids to know how to answer a phone and how to hang up a phone. They don't say goodbye anymore. They just hang up, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, well, I guess the conversation was over.
Yeah.
So some of those kind of things that we're thinking about of, how to function as adults. So, which just sounds really funny, because that's what our whole program is trying to design and teach them. But we want to give them those opportunities. And again, we just want them to be able to have a good time. So, how insurance works. That's good.
Car insurance for the ones that are wanting to turn 16 and get a driver's license. Yeah, those kinds of things. That's exactly what our line of thinking is. So
how do you sign up? That's good. That's another question. So this program is going to work similar to Trailblazer. It will be in Tenaroo as next level stuff. So the key though is that we're still working through the logistics because of the way that the software works in Tenaroo, that if you sign up for the program, then you may struggle with being able to sign up for the session that Eagle Require merit badge that your scout may need, because it does cancel out. So I'm working through the last little finessing points of making sure that you still have that opportunity to sign up for that merit badge, as well as to participate in our next level stuff program. And so we will, we if I cannot finesse it, if I cannot figure it out, we will be manually putting it in. So I can have you send me what they need to take, and I can manually put that in.
We could do it the old-fashioned way with an ink pen and a piece of paper,
if necessary. Heaven forbid.
Yeah.
The software doesn't work with us. Maybe they can teach me a life skill. Ooh, there we go. There's a life skill class. How about them teaching us how to use technology? So it's a reverse class. Priority sign up for ATV, Laura. That's a great question.
No, that's really not going to. That's a 2-hour class, and
it's already designed for our 14 and up.
Right.
So
that's already existing for them. We'll do our best to get them in there, and I'll be honest with you. In past the ATV classes, they really haven't filled up. But since that class is a 2-hour class, they're going to be missing a lot of the other stuff. So we couldn't guarantee everybody positive space in ATV, because we only have 12 ATVs, and there's other. So yeah, that's where we're at with that.
So, oh, okay. So we're going to open this up for questions. I'm going to stop screen sharing because I don't know about anybody else. It drives me crazy when I'm trying to talk to people and I can't see them. So just a second. Oh, speaking of technology, I'm struggling with it today. So does anybody have any questions for us?
How do you plan to staff that?
So that will be staffed by our current staff members. Hi, Scott. And so it will just be opened up, and the sessions will be taught by our traditional merit badge instructors. We're going to have to do a little bit more training with them. Our life skills class will be something that our adults within camp, our bona fide adults, i.e. over 40, aging ourselves. That will be something that we wind up offering. And, I had a suggestion, and they're like, what about having the kids go around and have to ask the adults questions? How many of your scouts are going to be comfortable going up to this guy, the head guy in camp, and asking him a question? It's authority. It could be intimidating. Some people may have a hard time, doing that. And so that might be something that we also work into the program. So Will Beatty just said, have you thought about offering any of the venturing trainings like goal setting and time management? Time management is one of the topics that we're looking at in terms of that life skill class. Again, we're still fleshing it out because we want to make sure that we're hitting the needs of our scouts. And I agree that time management is a huge one.
It is. I need better time management, but maybe I should teach it. That's something is to teach it. Yeah. So, and again, every troop that comes into this camp has adult leaders who have skill sets that we don't even know about. So, going back to your question, Scott, about staffing it, hey, if we've got somebody that comes in and knows there's an expert in widgets, then we teach a session on life skills with widgets. Okay.
We want to give you all that opportunity as well. If you feel like there's something that you're super passionate about, that you go, I am so tired of my scouts not knowing how to tie their shoes. Well, great. You can come teach them how to tie their shoes. I hope they'll do that.
I was going to say, how do we volunteer to come down and teach something?
Just reach out to us if you've got something that that you think would be beneficial to the kids, and willing to give an hour, because these things are going to be happening every day. So we'll need three or four different sessions for them. So just let us know.
What are you thinking, Scott? What do you want to bring to the table?
Oh, I don't know about that. I was thinking about resume writing or interviewing. That's something that we do a lot of coaching up here at SAS for our young professionals who are interning and then trying to turn that into a career. So that's some of the things that we're already doing and are helping young folks and young adults gain those skills. So I really applaud the thinking that you guys have put into this. I think this has huge potential. So I'm excited to hear about this, and I think it's a great thing.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. And again, it's we want to, what is the old Kiss Smith? Keep it simple, make it fun.
Yeah.
That's where we started with this, and that's where we want to take it. So yeah.
Go ahead, Laura.
Okay, so actually Scott just inspired me. Thinking about him, I know how many teenage boys would love to learn how to play the guitar.
Oh,
if there was that opportunity, like I know, I mean, sourcing guitars would, is a whole nother thing. But if they had their own, or they could borrow one and bring it, if there was somebody that could teach them how to play guitar, that would completely differentiate you from other summer camps, and may just draw that teenager in. Doesn't have to be guitar, it could be something else, but I know a lot of teenage boys would love to learn how to play guitar.
That is a fantastic idea. It's so out of the box, and that's really what this program, where we're starting with it right now, it may develop into something completely different as we go, because we've had to, unfortunately, I think we tend to think in a box and within parameters. And so we are open to seeing how this grows and develops, because the key is about keeping these older scouts engaged. And I think so much, because I've heard it from you guys, is you need that leadership in camp. Think about some of the other programs that they go to. They take your older scouts out of camp for a week and you lost your leadership. Well, this program allows them to stay in camp, experience some of these next level things that are different, and stay in camp and still be able to provide that leadership to your younger scouts.
Right. Well, and considering in the next level, I know you guys might know that my son, Miles Johnson is an EMT. There's a lot of scouts that would love to potentially enter into the healthcare field. And so maybe having an opportunity where they could shadow the EMT at camp, or like to give them sort of a next level, more vocational type experience of what things could look like in that situation.
It's perfect.
Okay, on the list.
Those are great ideas.
Cool. Mentioning the ATV, I know you're saying in the past years they hadn't filled up. I know last year it sort of came out late that we were doing ATVs, so I know it didn't fill up last year, but in the past, we've really had to rush and hurry to get scouts into that. And that, when I talk to my older scouts, because I've been in charge of summer camp for ages for Troop 202, when I talk to my older scouts, the first thing they think of with Camp Durant is ATV. And so, having some assurances there, so having some assurances there, might be helpful, but you're just saying that, you feel like the capacity is open now, that we really shouldn't have any problems getting
Well,
that for the old
There's
scouts.
always challenges, Laura, weeks 1 and 2, because those are our biggest, heaviest weeks. Those classes will fill up.
Right.
Yeah, weeks 3 and 4, those are always lighter weeks for us, and and we might be able to do that. I mean, if a Sunday when troops come in, we're Semper Gumby. If we got open slots and the kid wants to take it, we want those machines to be running. We don't
Yep.
want them to sit over there and not do anything. So, yeah, we can't quite guarantee positive space in there, but we can certainly do our best to get them in.
And it's
Sure.
it's that same demographic. That's the key factor.
Yeah.
Is we're trying to do something that is already geared for our older scouts. ATV is already an older scout program that we offer. And I would even say, if you've got scouts that want to do ATV, maybe the next level stuff isn't the right program for them, because maybe they're needing to pick up merit badges or they're needing to do that. So it's, so we're trying to kind of figure out our balance still. So
Nick, what do you got?
This isn't something that I would recommend for this year, and maybe think about for next year, because I think it's a pretty heavy logistics lift. But the Whitewater Center is only 2 hours away, and I say heavy logistics because moving scouts to and from is the heavy lift. But for adding on, like, hey, if your scout wants to do this for a 1 day, it adds on X dollars, which would cover transportation to the Whitewater Center and the activities there. That may be something to do, because a 2-hour drive, they do the Whitewater Center, which has a ropes course, as the Whitewater, it has all these things, and they're still back in time for supper. That may be something else. So you're right, we don't have the geography, but 2 hours isn't too far. So like I said, not necessarily this year, but maybe next year, the year after, branching out. But like I said, I understand the heavy logistics.
well, and to be honest, it's not just the logistics. That is something we have looked at. We looked at pretty extensively. Just as an FYI, financially, that's where we don't want it to be a burden. And where we're seeing this, for us to rent a 9-passenger van or a 15-passenger van, which in reality we can only put 12 scouts on because you have to have 2 adults. Okay, to rent that van is $9,000 for the season, and you can only get 12 kids on the van. And so we looked very logistically at the Whitewater Center. We looked at going over into UR. We looked at a lot of different things, and we're going, this is cost prohibitive to our scouts, because we can only take such a small group. It's a fantastic idea, and I wish we could do it in a way that isn't going to be a burden onto our scouts that would be going. That's our struggle right now. And that's been part of our struggle, even to get an older scout program up and running, is we wanted to be able to keep them in camp because of those financials.
Could we, and like I said, just something to research, do like a use agreement with one of the county schools for a school bus? If there were somebody to get, whatever, and I'm not volunteering by any means to get a CDL, because I don't even get to go to summer camp anymore because of work. But if a school were to loan a bus or two, that would, I think, cut down. Then maybe you're just eating the cost of CDL and gas. So like I said, I totally get it. Like, nothing is free.
Yeah, that's a potential. That's a good idea. It's something we hadn't really thought about. So again, another great resource for you guys to be here talking to us about this.
Right, and I know that there's after we leave this, I know there's going to be some other thoughts, and you can always just drop us a line and what you have.
Who else has some questions?
Well, I know I'm not in the position to officially offer the Troop 202 bus, but maybe that's a possibility. So if that is something of real interest to you, let us know, and I'll, sort of run it through our process and see if that's a possibility.
Fantastic.
I mean,
Laura?
somebody would need the CDL, the commercial driver's license. Because our people who have that are driving the bus and leaving it there and then coming back and
Yeah.
Awesome.
Any other questions? Okay.
I guess one thing I would think about, when we were talking about just vocations is, maybe there's some really key vocations where if kids are really exploring this, there's so much pressure in high school to figure out what you want to be when you grow up, which is like so unfair. But this would be a great opportunity for them to test out some vocations, maybe, consider whether it's healthcare or food industry or tourism or, somehow be able to access.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right. Anyone else?
Wildland firefighter training. You got the Forest Center over there, not too far from you. I mean, I'm not old enough to do it, but it is something to introduce them to.
Okay. Put that on the list.
Perfect. Thank you, Nick.
That was Will.
Well,
Will.
yeah, but Nick also dropped something in the chat. So
Okay.
thanks, Will. That's
Well,
a great idea.
I'll be nicer than I am to the developers.
Okay. I do have one major enhancement to put out there for everybody. If you notice, the golf merit badge now has a disc golf option to earn that. Okay. We will be offering that. We've always offered disc golf as just a fun class to learn how to play. Okay. But now that's actually going to be a session that kids can earn the disc golf option of the golf merit badge. So we're really, really excited about that because this camp is the one that submitted all of those requirements years ago. Okay. And from what camp submitted to what they printed, 75% of it is exactly what was sent to them. So we are claiming and making it public as of right now that Camp Durant is the home of disc golf merit badge. There, we own it.
And we are, as far as National knows, we reached out to National. We are the only camp in the nation with an 18-hole disc golf course that hosts a PDGA disc golf tournament. So we just had the Camp Durant Classic last weekend. I'm sorry, 2 weekends ago. So the first weekend in March is always the Camp Durant Classic. We've been hosting that for about 13 years now. There is a professional component. So we do have professional disc golf players that come out and play our course. Our course was designed by Henry's brother and a very well-known professional disc golfer by the name of
Brian Schweberger.
Yeah. And so that is something that most of these scouts that go to some other camps will not have the opportunity to do, is actually play on a course that has been designed and is played on by professional disc golfers. That's exciting. We're excited to be able to claim that.
And we are. We're going to have a big sign made. Everything with color too.
Ooh, color signs.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. I want to thank y'all for taking half your lunch hour and joining us. Again, we're excited about this, and we hope that your kids will be as well. And we're looking forward to another great camping season. So, Kenna, do you have anything else?
I do not. I just want to thank everybody who's going to be joining us this summer. If you're not with us this summer, we hope to see you next summer, that we become a choice option for you, as Camp Durant is consistently trying to move forward in summer camp to be able to meet the needs of all of our troops.
Absolutely. Okay.
So thank you, everybody.
Okay.
Have a great day.